I'm the Book Baron. Welcome in, everybody. So today we are doing something a little bit different, as averaged. What? As you may be able to tell from my very casual athleisure wear and the grays that refuse to be tamed for some reason. That is so rude. Okay, but anyway, long story short, I need to spend some Audible credits, and we're gonna do that together today because I don't know what I want to purchase, and I really want to cancel my Audible subscription. And apparently, you can't cancel your Audible subscription without spending your remaining credits, which is so immensely irritating, and I'm not really sure why that makes sense. But regardless, I must do it. So, what made me want to cancel my Audible subscription? I signed up for Audible probably about a year ago as a way to get access to more indie authors' audiobooks. So I had purchased an Audible subscription and had been paying for like the premium level, I think, which is basically access to the Audible catalog and an Audible credit, which allows you to purchase one audiobook every month. Oh, good Lord. This is way too early to need a voiceover, but yet here we are. So I never explained why I decided to cancel my Audible subscription. So basically, I end up being able to get access to Hoopla, and then when I was calculating how many audiobooks I was actually using from the Audible service and how much each audiobook was costing me, I realized the math didn't really add up. And so then I was like, okay, time to cancel, and we're just going to stick with Hoopla. I don't listen to enough audiobooks to make it worth it for me to just have access to the Audible Plus catalog. And I'm starting to run out of books that I'm interested in. It's way too hard to find stuff. So that's why I kind of decided to cancel my subscription. Now I'm going to get into other details that are also relevant, but not the main reason that I wanted to cancel. Now that we have that clarified, now you know. And you're the smarter for knowing? I don't know. Whatever. Let's get back to the video. Because I am so indecisive with things, I just never really spent them. So I've been slowly trying to purchase audiobooks in order to whittle down the number of credits that I have, but I still have 7 left. I have at least put my Audible subscription on pause until I can spend these, but I'm so sick of paying for Audible subscription. I'm so sick of having to remember to put it on pause every month. So I just want to spend these credits and be done with this service once and for all. Without further ado, let's go buy some audiobooks. All right, hopefully this is working and not as glitchy as it appears on my computer here. To the keen observer, you may notice that I am in fact dressed entirely different and look entirely different because it's actually the next day. I could not figure out how I had done this in the past and had to come up with a totally new method. So hopefully this actually works out and I can do this in the future because it'll make things a lot easier, because it records everything in one, which is great. I digress. We're on my Audible page. As you can see, I have 7 credits. Now, a couple days ago, I actually had 9 credits, but I'm smart. Well, I'm not really that smart. I needed to spend credit, so I spent a credit on a friend who was really looking forward to a new release. So I just decided I would purchase them an audiobook, so that got rid of one. And then the other one I used to pre-order Senlin Yu's Alchemized, the traditionally published version of Manacled that's coming out, I think, sometime in September. And because that's so chunky, I kind of figured I'd prefer to have an audiobook. So I felt like that was going to end up being the best format for me to consume that. But here we are with 7 credits left. And I don't really have a plan of attack for this, to be honest. So we'll see how well this goes. Oh, so we could start by, I've got a wish list. I guess we could start there, see what's on there. Let's see, what do we got? Golden Wings and Pretty Things. I'm pretty sure I've just been waiting to see if this will go on sale because I didn't necessarily want to buy it full price. Oh no, I see something I don't like. Okay. We're going to ignore the next couple of audiobooks and we're not going to pass judgment because these were put on my wish list much before recent controversy. So we're just going to ignore these ones. You don't see anything. It's totally blank. My Dark Romeo. I don't think I really want to spend a credit on that one. I'm so hit and miss with LJ Shen, and I heard just weird things. I think that's why I was kind of intrigued by this one. But like, because LJ Shen's been so hit and miss, I didn't want to like spend my precious time that I have to physically read to read My Dark Romeo. So I think that's another one that I think I've actually been waiting to go on sale. It does have Jacob Morgan, and he is a favorite audiobook narrator. Oh, okay. We have our first winner. Clarence Manor by Devney Perry, which was formerly, this is so confusing, called Ivy and was published under her pen name Willa Nash. Same book. I hate this new cover. It's so ugly. The old one was so cool because it had like literally like ivy growing up a wall, and you can kind of see lips in the background, like doing like like I thought it looked really cool. I know it's supposed to be kind of like dark academia. This has been on my want to read list for a really long time. It is a thicker book, and it's a little bit outside my comfort zone only because I think there's multiple relationships that you're following, or multiple heroines that we're following that all kind of live in the same house and they're like going to college together, I think, or something like that. I think this actually might be my first pick because this has really been one that I've wanted to get to for so long. And I think it's only, yeah, it's 15 hours. So it is a longer book. So I think let's add that bad boy to the cart. And then, ooh, okay, The Surrogate, I think is another one that I'm probably going to add to. Okay, so The Surrogate by Penelope Ward. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember what it's not surprise pregnancy, but it's kind of adjacent to that. I think the hero's wife died and she had her eggs frozen or something. And so then her friend agrees to be a surrogate, or maybe it was someone that was unknown, agrees to be the surrogate for him to have this baby. I think he maybe gets pressure from her family. I could totally be butchering this. To be honest, I don't fully remember. The first person I remember hearing about this book from, I think that made sense, was Monica from Pardon This Book Addict. I think I was on a live a while ago on someone else's channel though. I think we did like reading sprints or something, and she was reading this because it was like a new release and was really loving it. So I think that was her. Monica, correct me if I got that wrong. And then most recently, I've heard Sam from Sam Reads a Little really rave about this one. So I feel like it's kind of a unique premise. I think it could be really fun. Jacob Morgan and Desiree Ketchum are two really killer audiobook narrators. So I'm probably gonna snag this one too. All right, next up. Oh, last one. We have The Dark Side of the Sun, a Regency era dark romance. Oh, by Addison Kane. Okay, this was one that I got recommended when I was trying to find something that's like historical but also kind of fits my taste. I haven't really given that subgenre another go in a while, but Addison Kane actually writes, I think, like dark Omegaverse primarily. But she has this dark romance. But I don't think I necessarily want to spend a credit on that. That'll probably be something that I want to try and read physically, at least first starting out, if I want to give it a good shot anyway, ignoring those audiobooks. Okay, so we have 2, we've got 5 to go. I don't necessarily want to look in the deals category because usually if they're under like $7, it makes more sense to just purchase them outright than utilize a credit on it. Why is this not showing all the... Okay, this is so weird. Where are all the categories? Am I crazy? Hold on. This isn't right. There they are. That was so weird. Why did I not get all the audiobook categories that first time? Whatever. Let's get in here. And let's just scroll through and see some new releases maybe. Something that would take a long time for me to wait on for at the library. I do love Abby Jimenez, but I think that this is a novella. Yeah, it's only an hour. I don't really want to. I'll just sit down and read that. Nothing's really striking my fancy. Ooh, Christina C. Jones has a new one. 3 hours. Ooh, that's a short one. I should probably just... Oh, Wesley Siobhan is one of the narrators. I love her. That is tempting, but it's only 3 hours, so I think maybe I'll just read that physically, actually. I have to put that on my TBR. His Tesoro. This, I feel like, blew up, and then I just heard nothing about it. All right. Okay. So let me think. This is a little bit of a bust. It's so hard. This is part of the reason that I'm actually getting rid of Audible is it's so freaking hard to search through the catalogs, especially because like when you look at the category breakdowns, as someone who reads a lot of dark romance, there's not really a category for me to be able to search through effectively. The closest, honestly, they really get is like maybe romantic suspense, but romantic suspense is a subcategory I actually don't like, but a lot of dark romances get categorized as that. I'm getting off on a tangent. This is not helpful to anybody. But yeah, I just don't find their subcategories very effective because I'm like, why do you have some that are only have a couple thousand, but then you've got contemporary as a catch-all and that's got 30? That's not very helpful breakdown. Maybe let's switch over to my Goodreads and let's see if we can find some stuff off my TBR maybe. Let's maybe sort by page number. If we can get like a thicker one, that might be good because that'll encourage me to read it. Just because like I don't have a ton of time to like sit down and read physically, but I have a lot of time where I'm working where I can listen to audiobooks or when I'm working out. I actually prefer to listen to audiobooks while I'm working out rather than music. because I get really specific about what song I want to hear. And it's a whole thing. Let's see here. Looks like the top two are fanfic. So that I could probably find on Spotify. I don't think you can sell audiobooks of that because you can't make money off fanfic. Alchemized I already ordered. Maria Zahara, I think, is a small enough author. I don't think she has audiobooks. Quill Carter, Follow Cost. This one's been on my Kindle for a while, but this is on the older side. I think this was published back in 2014, and audiobooks were not quite as common as they are now for indie published authors. So I don't think that one's going to have one. A.L. Woods, that might be someone to look into. I know she writes books that tend to be on the thicker side, so she might be a good one. Ooh, okay. This is a good one, I think. Maestro. I've seen this one doing the rounds, and it's supposed to be just absolutely heart-wrenching. Ooh, you know what? I have a little bit of a red flag here, though. Whenever I see a love story, I kind of assume that it's not a romance. And I just got burned recently by a Nina G. Jones book. And in fairness to her, this was before there was a ton of discourse about like, hey, just because you have a romance in your book does not inherently make your book a romance. It has to end with an HEA, which I agree with because I don't like getting taken by surprise because you know what happened? I didn't know that it wasn't going to have an HEA. And then I was so like feeling physically ill from the ending because it could have ended in an HEA. It did not need to end in a non-HEA. Swelter, by the way, this is the book I'm talking about. That would be kind of helpful for you to know. Yeah, felt physically ill and I wasn't able to read a single book for like multiple days. And I did not appreciate that. So I need to double check if this has an HEA, but I do think if it does have an HEA, that this would be a good candidate. So let's maybe flip back over to Audible here. Back on Audible. So Maestro, let's look that up. Okay, let's look at these ratings. Maybe these ratings will tell us. Beautifully Tragic. Ooh, this makes me worried. Okay, I might have to do some more digging. Perfect. Okay, can confirm from the reviews, there is an HEA. Thank God. Add that bad boy to the cart, especially because non-member pricing is pretty expensive here. So that's nice that I'm able to spend it on one that's a little bit more expensive. All right, let's look up A.L. Woods. What do you got for me, girly? Lies. I know that this one is on my TBR. I'm going to add it to my cart. This is a maybe. I could be persuaded because that's a long audiobook and the ratings are pretty good. All right, let's see what else we can find when I go through my Goodreads account. Land of the Beautiful Dead. This is one that I've actually started reading, and I think I'd prefer to read it physically. Jessie Walker, she might be another good one to look up and see if she has some audiobooks, because she, I think, only writes tomes that are like 700 pages. More Arlie Smith. I've given up on Raven Kennedy. Yeah, I dropped off after the third book for this series and just never picked it back up. Weren't they? I think I want to read physically if I read it at all. It's a newer one to my TBR. Nocticadia I already own. Say You Swear I already own. Nightshade by Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake is another one that likes to write tomes. So maybe keep her in the back. Oh, wait, is there an audiobook for this one yet? Okay, Pam Godwin. And what was the other one that we were doing? Pam Godwin and Carrie Lake. Okay, let's flip back over to Audible and see what we can find. Pam Godwin. You know, it would be great is that I can actually find a bundle of Hills of Shivers and Shadows and all of the books in that series. Because I read, the first book was so thick. I have a reading vlog being kind of like, let's do a hype check on this and see if it's all cracked up to be. And it absolutely was. It was so good. The second book was a lot shorter, so I actually got to that one a lot faster because I wasn't as intimidated. But this third book's big again. I've been a little bit reticent. I think I'm also just not ready for the story to be done as engaging and as exciting as it was. Let's pre-order that one. That'll be nice. And then what was the other one I was going to look up? Okay, Carrie Lake. We'll just do this. Click on her profile. Oh, this is one that I do really want to read. I am tempted. I don't know. I think I need to test out some of her other books first because I'm currently reading Master of Salt and Bone. Nocticadia is in my library. And I guess Nightshade is included in Audible Plus catalog. So I guess I'll just add that to my library then. Okay, so where are we at? We've got 7 credits available. Okay, we've got 2 more. Back to my Goodreads account here. Already have this or have access to it. I didn't realize Off Balance was that long. That's crazy. Yeah, I want to read that one physically. This one I can get on audio from the library. I think we're kind of getting into territory where I don't necessarily need an audiobook to like encourage me to read it. Okay. We've tried the biggest ones. Let's try maybe the ones that have been on my TBR for a long time and see if we can find any that are there. And no judgment, I definitely need to clean this up like really, really, really bad. That'll be in a video coming soon because I have almost 500 books, 499 on Goodreads alone. And I've got 500 in another spreadsheet. There's overlap. I need to go through, and clear out books. I have a habit of just like adding stuff to my TBR. And then I don't like make a note of like why I've added it to my TBR. So then I just end up digging through all these books where I'm like, ew, why is this on here? And then I can't use this effectively. Nightshade, we already took care of. The Brit, I think I can get on Hoopla. From Luke Off with Love. Mariana Zapata actually would be a good one because her books tend to be a little bit longer. And because they're slow burn, I always find like the first 30% of her books, I don't want to say it's boring for the first third of her books, but like, I'm not saying that. Okay, so Mariana Zapata might be a good one to look up. Phantom, I kind of want to read that physically. QB, I'm not really interested in this book anymore, sadly. I want to read other books from QB Tyler, but not Keep Her Safe. Seal Megan, I don't think has audiobooks. Brittany C. Cherry, that's one I need to pull off. I just haven't had very much success, sadly, with Brittany C. Cherry. Jame and Eve, yeah, I don't really have an interest in that one. Liza James doesn't have audiobooks. Lauren Beale's in timeout, so even if she has an audiobook, we're not reading it. I don't think Charity B has audiobooks. Okay, I think we might be at a little bit of a stopping point where Goodreads maybe isn't as helpful as I would like it to be, because I don't think a lot of the books that have been on here the longest have audiobooks. Okay, that's fine. Let's go back over to Audible and maybe I'll look up some priority reads for this year. Maybe we'll do that. Back on Audible. Okay, let's look up Mariana Zapata. I know she has a lot of hers included on the Audible Plus catalog, so a lot of them are free. I have access to Wall of Winnipeg and is it Culty? And another one. All roads lead here, I think, are all through my library. Maybe Culty's not. Maybe I made that up. Wait for it. I'm not going to waste a credit on that. It's under $7. This is about $7, so that's not really worth it. Oh, well, I might just purchase this one. So let's just add that to the cart. It's only $3.22. Oh, and this one's only $3.11. I might add that one to the cart, but I'm not going to count those two. Okay, so I still have 2 to find, even though it's going to say I have 7 in my cart. Let's think here. Does Kate C. Wells? Actually, if I buy the first one and listen to it on audio, then I'll want to listen to all the books on audio. And again, this is only $3. Okay, we'll add that one to the cart, but I think we're just going to pay for it outright because it just makes more sense. $3, I'm not going to waste a credit on that. Okay, what's another book that's on there? Oh, let's look at that Zoe Draven one. Zoe Draven, Desire in His Blood. Here we go. Oh, wait, did I see a set? Hold on, because that would be a good thing to use a credit on. I can get multiple for the price of one. Oh, it's maybe for a different series. Brides of Kylor. Any box sets for that, Miss Zoe? Otherwise, we can just buy that first one with one of my credits. Because I think that would be good, because then that'll encourage me to actually read that one. Because it's definitely been one that I've been meaning to get to for like borderline years. And if I have an audiobook, I think it'll just make it a little bit more enticing to just kind of like quickly pick up versus like having it be the next thing that I'm physically reading. When it comes to physical reading, because there's such limited time, I'm so picky with the books that I want to read that way. I don't think that the audiobook would detract from my experience. Like, this isn't a trope that I feel like is best felt by physically reading. But okay. So let's add this one because it's on, I guess 11 hours isn't really that long. That one to the cart. Okay, so we're up to 9, but there's 3 in there that I'm planning to purchase myself. So I think we still need 1 more to spend credits on. I gotta think about this one. Desire in His Blood, Rejected Mates. Those are both in the cart. Phantom, I think I want to read physically. Actually, let's just see. Let's just see what that goes for. Freer Rivers. So Phantom's on there. That might be one that I do. That's my priority reads. Oh, you know what's a series I've always wanted to read? And is an author that I think I'll see at a signing is J.A. Lowe. There's like a Paradise series or something like that. I can't remember the name of it exactly that I've always wanted to read. And don't think it's on audio. Okay, so that's a bust. Harley Smith, I don't think there will be any. Okay. Okay, so I own Slasher Pass. Nope, not Slasher Pass. Slashes in the Snow. Oops. Oh my god, I can't spell. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Flashes in the Snow by M. Never. So this is a book that I've got in my Blackout Romance Book Box subscription, and I hadn't really heard of it. We've got Jacob Morgan again. That's a good reason to. But I guess I didn't realize this was Motorcycle Club. Let's add this one because I have a feeling that this is one that I wouldn't necessarily get to, but I do want to find out if I want to keep that special edition or not, if I like it, if it's worth taking up shelf space, because I'm really in a phase of paring down all of my special editions. Okay, actually, I think I'm all done. Hold on. 7 credits available, 7 credits applied. I did it, you guys. Okay, here's what we ended up with. So I pre-ordered the Pam Godwin book. I said I'll get that later this month, actually. So that's really exciting. I'll finally be able to read that. We have Maestro by Auden Dar. I hope I said that right. So we'll get that. I'll just be purchasing Tyrant Alpha's Rejected Mate by Kate C. Wells because it's only $3, so why not? Lies by A.L. Woods, that's one of the bigger ones, and I haven't read anything by A.L. Woods yet, so that's kind of exciting. Also got Clarence Manor, previously known as Ivy by Devney Perry. That's a book that I've been meaning to get to for a really long time, so that's exciting. Slashes in the Snow, we're going to figure out if I want that special edition or not. Purchasing Luna and the Lie, purchasing From Luke Off with Love, because I own both of those physically and haven't read them yet. Desire in His Blood, which is from my priority reads list. The Surrogate, which is a book that I've wanted to read for a while. And then we have the pre-order for A Heart of Frost and Scars by Pam Godwin. So that's that 3rd book in the Frozen Fate series. And I will get it later this month. Ta-da! We're done, folks. So those are all the books that I will be purchasing. I would love to hear from you. If there are any books that you highly recommend the audiobook for, leave them down in the comments. Let me know what you like to pick up on audio and kind of how you make the decision between like picking something up on audio versus deciding to read it physically. If you even do that, maybe you don't even listen to audiobooks. I would love to hear about anything and everything about all of your audiobook habits down in the comments below. But thanks for going shopping with me. And don't forget to like this video if you did end up liking it. Subscribe if you want more content from me. And I really, really hope I see you on my next video. Bye-bye.